Hello. So I'd like to give you a little more explanation on how to interpret all the information you can find through the grades when you go into your parent's Schoology account. You will be able to see in your courses area the course that your child has been enrolled in and is working in. By clicking on courses, I have a lot because of all the ones I'm teaching, but you would come up here and you'd find the one that your child is enrolled in. So for this example, I would have already clicked on Earth Science, and the 801 just means A. This and what I'm going to show you here is true for the Spanish classes as well as the Earth Science classes. And for the majority of the classes, math and language arts, as social studies and other electives as well. So if your child is taking multiple classes, this information should help you with those as well. With my classes, you're going to land on the updates. In the majority of the classes, this is true. Um, so the updates are basically the announcements. On mine, I have the announcement that stays at the top. It changes as to something new and important needs to be that's relevant at that time. But you can always find all of the announcements as they go down, as you scroll down the page. The oldest are going to be at the very bottom. And as of right now, none of them are hidden because not enough have been posted yet. We're still early on. You'll notice under information, you can find my contact information. And it's almost always there. Sometimes it disappears, but then I put it right back up. But you can also find my information through the course info. So if we go into materials, we'll be able to find it there as well. And I'm just going to show you what your child is seeing as well. So in here you can see, well, here is my contact information. Whoops, and it didn't do what I wanted. The Introduction to Online Learning unit, feel free to look through this as well. It gives a lot of information on how your child should be navigating and submitting assignments, contacting the teacher, things of that nature that's helpful. And always refer them back to this as well when they're not quite sure how to do something. There's a class discussion for Spanish. This is vital. For Earth Science, it's highly recommended to use. The diagnostic tests are only used to determine if a student can pass out of any unit. And so it's relevant, however many units there are in the semester that they're taking. For this one, there are 4, or a couple others, there are 3. Here is the content itself. This is where your child should be working. And then they know from the diagnostic tests, I send an email to their school accounts, and now that I have all the parent emails organized as well, you will also be CC'd on everything. So you'll be able to see what if they've passed out of a unit or not. And then I'm also going to show you another way that you can find this out. But then I also said that you could find my information here under the course info. There's the syllabus, and that's where that's actually going to be. Teacher contact information is right here. So there is that available there on it through the materials. Where you're going to look is, oops, I lost this. Hang on one second. I'm going to change this back to seeing it so it looks like how you see it. Right now you're seeing my how I see it. So I have a fictitious student in here. So now that's back to where we were when we first started with this. So when we go into grades, this is going to be the best. The attendance is actually not accurate because we take that in Parent Portal. So you can access it through there. Okay, so we go into grades. Hopefully it doesn't switch us back out again. Good, still in this. So for this one, the students have been told as well that everything starts with a 0, so that the final grade that you see is an actual progress through of what has been earned. It's not a percentage of completion, it's a percentage earned. So if they were to stop working at this point, the grade that you see at the bottom right here, oh, that's the assignments grade, sorry about that. The course grade right here is what their final grade would be. So for this particular student, what we can see is that the icons here show that something has been submitted. That means that I have been sent information through Schoology as it needed to be sent in. One thing to be concerned about as a parent is when you look down here in the assignments, notice that one thing was submitted and then 3 things were skipped and then another assignment was submitted. We shouldn't be seeing any of these zeros in between or these blank areas with no icons. That means that your child has skipped assignments and they really should then at that point go back and do them again. I had sent out as well to everyone that by the end of the second week, they should be done with at least 1 unit. What that can mean is if they have tested out, for example, this student took the diagnostic test for Unit 3 and earned better than a 70%. Therefore, you can see then that here for the assessments, he or she was excused, but it's going to need to do all these other assessments for the course. Needs to work in one, but to know that they've been excused for a unit, you can see this as well with the word excused if it's a quiz type assignment, or the green dots. That shows that something's been excused. If there's zeros there, that means that your child needs to complete that work. Now, of course, if there's zeros there and a diagnostic test has not yet been taken for that unit, they can still elect to take the diagnostic test. And then I will respond within 24 hours with UCC'd as well to let that student know how to proceed. Have they passed out of that unit? So then they're excused for everything, and then I'll change all of the unit work in the grades so that it's accurate. Or was it less than 70%? So they need to actually complete the work in the unit. So also, I'm going to be posting in the courses again today that same recommended schedule for completion. So at this point, everybody should have 1 unit completed, whether that be you've completed this first unit or you've been excused from a unit. So that helps you know, are there too many zeros? So if the diagnostic tests have been completed and none have been passed out of, we need to see that one of these units has been completed, and you can tell because there's a 1 in front of it. That's unit 1. 2 tells us unit 2. 3 tells us unit 3 in front. And then the separate numbers after the 0.1, 0.2, 0.3, any of these 0.2s are going to be in the same content folder, like subfolder in that unit 3. So that also helps you see how that's organized. But then also do realize that there is an assessment that needs to be completed in each unit of work that needs to be done. The diagnostic test does not need to be taken, and if the unit work has been done, only that unit's assessment must be completed. So I hope that this helps you to have a better grasp of how to understand the grades and how to be able to help your child move forward and follow kind of the suggested guidelines. Remember, those are kind of the latest suggested dates that they should be completing things at. This is self-paced, so a student can move as quickly as they can through the content, provided that they're still learning. If you still have some questions about this, feel free to contact me, and I will get back to you as soon as I can. But knowing that I'm really wanting to work on helping the students directly with being successful, helping with finding out, monitoring the students is can be a little longer to get to. So it might be 2 days for me to be able to get to that, especially if it's been a Tuesday or Wednesday, because I actually go and meet with students directly to give individual instruction that way. So I appreciate your patience and your support as well. And together we are going to hopefully make this a successful summer session for your child. Thank you. Bye.